check it out. So the bay that I'm in right now has no cell connection, but I need to do some email checking and responding. So we're going on an outing to try to find a cell signal. We have two phones. Hopefully one of them will be able to get cell. And Yarna said he thinks he got some connection out in the bay. So we have our handy bucket full of electronics that we're not going to drop in the water. And we are going off for the internet adventure. Whoop, whoop. Fuck yeah. First we have to make a stop at our second estate to get dry bag situation and hat situation. So if something falls in the water, it's not as expensive. Yes?
You want the mango lassi situation?
Yes. We made mango lassi. We have a bunch of ripe mangoes and a ripe papaya. And I used my little immersion blender, which is awesome because it runs off my tiny inverter. And it's delicious. We're putting it in Yarna's fridge. And we added some soy milk to it. And it's such a yummy treat.
It's gone bad. I think I need to drink it all.
Oh, you're such a gentleman.
What else was I going to get?
Ginger cookies. Although the dinghy around the anchorage was beautiful, we were not able to find any internet. So we decided to combine it with leaving the anchorage because there's a little island called Pedro Gonzalez that looked like it had a cell tower. So our plan was to go sail back and forth in front of that island, and then once we were done interneting, leave and meet up again in Isla San Jose, which is a little bit in the south. So we both went back on our own boats and took off to try to find some internet. The Perlis are pretty devoid of wind this time of year, so I was really stoked on this sail to be able to get both my sails up. Once I got in front of the island where there was cell, I was able to set up my laptop on a hotspot from my phone and do some emails and typing on an actual keyboard. There's no wind, there is no wind, absolutely no wind. All my sails are limp as fuck. I have needed to have a little bit of internet time, so I've been sailing back and forth in front of this island because they have a cell tower that my phone picks up. But the wind just died, which is kind of perfect because I just finished. It's nice to have a really calm, just sort of flop around day while I'm online. So I brought my computer out into the cockpit and was typing emails and doing some social media stuff while my boat's just kind of sitting here. I'm going like a knot, but that's because of the current that's pushing me. So I think it's time to turn on the enge. I am buddy boating with a couple friends and they all have all their sails up and I'm kind of pissed about it. But it's also good because it means that I'm just in a windless patch and I think I see wind ahead of me. So I'm just going to motor up to it because right now I'm going between 0 and 1 knots. I think the 1 knot is when I get pushed forward by the wave. So I'm going to motor to the wind and then hopefully I can shut the enge off and keep going because it's probably another 10 or 12 miles to the next anchorage that we're heading for, which is, if you care to see, so these are the Perlis Islands. Oops, that's too far out. These are the Perlis Islands. So this is where the cell tower is, and this is where we are heading. And I think it's from me to there. Yeah, it's like 10 miles. So at this speed, it will take me a very long time. So it's motor time. I sailed off the anchor even, so it's kind of a nice feeling. Hopefully this beast doesn't have to be on for that long because it's really loud. On enge. I've been having overheating problems with the beast, but I think it's just the temperature gauge is actually messed up because it kind of fluctuates in a way that an engine wouldn't if it was actually overheating. So anyway, I'm just gonna bake out here in the hot sun and hopefully get some wind so I can turn off this thing. Check it out, pineapple. I just went through a really strange tide area. I was going 4.7 knots and then I went through this weird swirly patch and now I'm going 3 knots. So I think this is the tide changing area and now I'm fighting against it. But this is a big, beautiful bay with ton of beaches. One of my friend boats is already here, the other one is coming. And we might be the only boats here, which is really cool. I'm not sure where they've anchored, but there are so many beautiful beaches. It doesn't even matter. That is owned by a guy who owns a construction company, so he's built a ton of infrastructure all over the island, but he's the only one ashore on some of the beaches, especially if it's just one person living there. We're trying not to bug anyone or make a nuisance of ourselves, but it is nice to be able to go ashore, so we try to always go to beaches where there aren't other people, locals, so that we don't disturb them. So, as I was noticing yesterday when I came into this anchorage, there's a pretty cool cave in the rocks, and it's a little bit after low tide, but it's still early, so we're gonna go explore the cave and see what there is to offer. I'm gonna bring my spear gun in case there's any fish to get, and other than that, just snorkel gear and check out a cave. We're approaching the cave. Something I love about the Las Perlas Islands is that each island is so different from the ones around it. Some of them are very muddy and full of mangroves, some of them have beautiful beaches, and some of them have caves, so we all know which one my favorite island is. This one is getting a ton of surge into it, and even though it doesn't really look like it on the video, it's crazy. Like, this was about as close as we wanted to get to the cave because it wasn't very deep and there were a ton of rocks that were kind of sticking up all jaggedy out of it and some really nasty swell that was just breaking inside the cave. So while my hopes and dreams of swimming in a real live cave were a little bit dashed, I was still happy to be able to see it at least. More caves!
I want to live there, Holly.
Yeah, that does seem really nice.
I would live somewhere and look like them.
Caves on caves, yo! Here you get a better idea of exactly how nasty the swell was. Just seeing the white water on this really lovely rock reef makes you question going ashore anywhere on this shore anyway. Next stop is this cute little island to try to do some snorkeling around the rock. Let's dive into this together. Light as a feather. My mind's lost in the ocean of you. And until dark times do part us, you know where my heart is. I know you'll always come through. And through the stormiest weather, we're sheltered together. With you to do what we do. Because I can't get enough of, I can't get enough of, I can't get enough of you. No, I can't get enough of, I Goodbye, little island. We didn't catch anything spearfishing because it was just a reef fish, but the snorkeling was amazing and it was totally worth it. Back to our cozy little boats. Thank you guys for watching this week's video. The song that's playing during the fish scene is one that I wrote and recorded when I was in college, when I was, I think, 19, and kind of lost it in the archives, but rediscovered it recently, and I've been looking for a video that I could stick it into, so this seemed like a good one. If you guys like what you see and want to see more of what I'm doing, I have an Instagram account at BoatLizard. You can follow me on there and see more daily, not daily, I don't do it daily, but like several times a week updates of photos and stories on what I'm currently doing. As we speak, I'm in the Pacific Ocean crossing towards French Polynesia, so I won't be able to respond to any of the comments that you guys are leaving, but I will get to them when I get back to civilization, probably sometime in July, I think. I should, like early July, I should be getting in, hopefully. Thank you so much to all of my patrons who continue to support me and make my dream possible. You guys are the best. And if you want to support me on Patreon, my thingy is patreon.com/windhippie. I'm committed to keeping my YouTube videos ad-free. So if you want to help me out a little bit, that's cool, but if not, don't worry about it. Totally guilt-free experience. I just want you to enjoy what I'm putting out there. Cool. Thanks, Tish, for uploading these videos online for me. You're the best. And I'll be thinking about all of you guys on this uploading day while I'm at sea, hopefully enjoying some nice weather, but you never know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks with another full-length video.